Can you hear me? Can we get some comments in the chat? Awesome. It's great to see everyone. I see some familiar names from our Facebook group and the platform. I'm Madeline. For those of you who I haven't met yet or who haven't seen me commenting in the Facebook group, where's everyone calling in from? Nice. British Columbia, we've got Tucson, Texas, Australia, Turkey, New Hampshire. Nice. Well, it's so great to see all of you. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll give another minute or so for some more folks to join, and then we'll kick things off. We've got another British Columbia. Arizona. Great. Well, I'm calling in from our office here in New York City. We've got offices all over the world here at ElevenLabs. Our headquarters is in London, but I'm based here in New York. And then we've got folks in all sorts of different places in Poland. We've got a team in Tokyo, in Sao Paulo, in Brazil. And then we've got distributed teammates all over the world, and then an office in San Francisco as well. Cool. All right. Well, let's kick things off. I'm Madeline from ElevenReader. I lead all of our author and publisher growth on the ElevenReader platform. And for those of you who are not familiar, I assume most people here have some degree of familiarity with ElevenReader. But we are a audiobook production and distribution platform, primarily for indie authors. And so today we're going to be chatting a bit about audio broadly, but it's going to be a combination of audio strategy for indie authors and then how to get started selling directly on ElevenReader. So we'll cover lots of different things, why audio matters, how to bring your catalog into audio, and then how to sell directly on ElevenReader. And so I'm sure all of you saw our big launch recently. We now offer direct sales on ElevenReader. So you can list your book for sale directly and earn a 60% royalty on all sales. And for those of you who have joined this webinar, we're offering a special 100% royalty through the end of the year. So we'll collect the emails of everyone who joined and we'll apply that to your account. So it's a great time to start listing all of your audiobooks and then selling them directly, because everything that you sell will just flow directly to you. So we're really excited to be able to offer that. And thank you so much for joining. So I think the big theme here that I'm excited to chat about ElevenReader broadly is that, as I'm sure many of you know, audiobooks used to be very out of reach for most indie authors, but they aren't anymore. And we're going to chat today about how you can craft your audiobook strategy, expand your audiobook catalog, to reach new listeners and unlock new revenue. So laid this out a bit, but we'll chat through a couple things: why audio matters, how to bring your books into audio, how to sell, and how to sell directly on ElevenReader. And my colleague Josie will be in the chat answering some questions, and we'll save some questions for Q&A. I already see a good one around how listing the book to be used as audio, does that violate Amazon's KU restrictions? We will chat about that in a little bit, but the short answer is no. Great. So let's chat a bit about why audio matters. So as I'm sure some of you know, audiobooks are the fastest growing format in publishing. So, they're growing 25% year over year. as compared to ebooks in print, which are basically flat year over year. So there's huge demand from listeners there, and it's coinciding with a time where production has never been easier. So it's a really great time for you to start thinking about how you're going to publish an audio and how to take advantage of this opportunity. So you'll be reaching new folks who, don't like to read in print or ebook, or also your existing readers in other parts of their day, whether they're commuting or working out, or multitasking. And then there's also just a deeper connection, I think, when someone is listening to your book versus reading your book. Voice just makes characters and stories come alive. So that's a great thing about audio. That's why I love listening to audiobooks. And then on the business side, it just unlocks a new revenue stream for you. So it unlocks revenue from work you've already created. So you don't have to write an entirely new book. You can think about how to monetize books that you've already written in new ways. And really only a small fraction of books ever make it into audio, which means that you'll also have less competition and more chance for your titles to stand out. And also ElevenReader is a new platform. And so you all are kind of early adopters of this platform that's continuing to grow really quickly. And so it's a great chance to start to build a presence on this platform, in the early stages. So we're excited that you're all here. So I want to run through kind of the old way that authors have thought about audio, and then we'll chat a bit about what it looks like today. But historically, audiobooks, as many of you know, were kind of this big publisher game. So production cost thousands of dollars, often $3,000 to $5,000 or even higher per title, and also took months. And then to distribute, you had restrictive contracts, low royalties, and exclusivity clauses. I'm sure we all know who I'm referring to there. And so if indie authors were able to produce in audio at all, they had to pick a winner essentially. So maybe one book that they hoped would pay off and then, leave the rest of the catalog behind. And, this is if they were able to produce audiobooks at all. So I'm actually curious, what struggles you have had, if any, in the past. Maybe we could just get some comments here. I've heard some interesting stories about, trying to produce audiobooks in the past and the challenges there. So I'd be curious if you want to comment in the chat. Maybe we can all commiserate together about how hard it's been. But the TLDR here is, audiobooks have been out of reach for most indie authors, and that's changing. Great. So here's how it works today on ElevenReader. It's a completely different landscape. We're in kind of this paradigm shift for audiobooks for indie authors. So you can create audiobooks now for free in minutes. It doesn't take months, and it doesn't cost thousands of dollars. And our voices are extremely natural sounding. They're AI voices, but if you haven't tried them out, you should give them a listen. These are not robotic text-to-speech voices. And I think listeners are also opening up to the idea that books they love might be digitally narrated to be brought into audio. So that's what we're doing on ElevenReader. You can convert all of your books to audio very seamlessly. It's free. They're ready in minutes. And then now you can list the books for sale and sell them directly too. So we wanted to make the royalty rate as author-friendly as possible and better than any other platform out there, with no exclusivity. So the standard rate is a 60% royalty on all sales, no exclusivity clause. You can, we believe that your books are your books, your IP. You can monetize them wherever and however you like. But when you sell them on ElevenReader, it's a 60% royalty, and for this group, 100% through the end of the year. And then you'll also get built-in analytics, so you can see what's working. We track things like completion rates and drop-offs and engagement, and we're constantly building out our engagement and analytics dashboard. So we're always open to feedback around what you'd like to see to improve the tracking experience and analytics experience for you. So I know many of you have already gotten started uploading your books onto ElevenReader, but I just want to reiterate, we're really excited to grow this platform with you and to make it the best place for you to distribute and earn from your audiobooks. So thanks so much for being an early partner or considering to upload your books onto ElevenReader. We're really excited about what's to come here and excited to start seeing your books live on the platform. Great. I'm seeing some great questions come in here. These are great. I'm gonna come back to some of them in a little bit. We'll just run through the rest of the presentation, and then we can go through many of these in the Q&A. Or Josie will be answering some of them. Great. So I think it'd be helpful just to give a quick overview of who we are and what is the technology that's powering ElevenReader. So ElevenReader is part of the broader company called ElevenLabs, which many of you may be familiar with. So ElevenLabs is an AI audio company founded in 2022. In just a few years, we've grown to 300 plus employees based all over the world, and we develop all of our own models in-house with our Genius research team, and then we have a whole team building products to power voice AI experiences on top of that voice research. And so we power voice AI products for media companies, enterprises, you name it. Our goal is really to be the voice of the internet and create the best, most natural sounding voices and put them in the hands of consumers and businesses and creators. And actually, our very first use case back in 2022 was narrating audiobooks. So there's a story that our founder likes to tell about the very, very early days. ElevenLabs had just launched, and it was just a small like text-to-speech interface. I think you could maybe upload 500 words max to hear what the voices sounded like. And one author uploaded his entire book piece by piece, like in 500-word chunks at a time, to make it into an audiobook. And so we kind of very quickly took off with indie authors who saw the value prop immediately of bringing their catalog to life in audio in a low-cost way, and have continued to double down this group. So we built ElevenReader, which is our essentially free version of ElevenLabs. So this is how you can create your audiobooks for free. And then it's the distribution layer on top of that, so you can connect with listeners and sell your books directly. And I know we had some questions in here around what is the difference between ElevenLabs and ElevenReader. So I'll just answer that one quickly while we're here, because I know it's a question maybe many of you have. So you can create audiobooks using the core ElevenLabs platform, but it's a paid product. So you have to pay a monthly subscription, and then you can create your audiobooks. You have a bit more control. So you can do things like multicast, you can do voice design, you could clone your voice and have your voice be the voice of your audiobook. And you just have a bit more control over how the audiobook is produced, but it also costs money. And then when you publish it, you can download the MP3, so you can upload it to other platforms, or just hang on to the MP3, put it on your Shopify site, things like that. And then also obviously upload it to ElevenReader. When you use ElevenReader, it's a completely free platform. And so you can upload your book, list it for free, and then sell it directly on ElevenReader. It's all entirely for free, and you just have slightly less control, and you can't actually download the finished file. So hopefully that clears things up. I'm happy to answer more questions about that in a little bit, but they're both great options for producing audiobooks. ElevenLabs is paid, ElevenReader is free, and you just have a bit less control. But both are great options. And either way, you can distribute the audiobooks on ElevenReader. So when we say AI narration, you might think of very flat, kind of robotic text-to-speech voices, which is not what we do. They're often indistinguishable, these voices, from human voices. And so these voices are contextually aware, they're emotionally expressive. We support over 32 languages. And on the ElevenReader app, you can publish today in 6 languages, and we're continuing to grow that to match the collection of languages that you can create using our models. And then we actually just released our V3 model, which allows you to generate voices that whisper and laugh and shout and cry and things like that, which will be available in ElevenReader soon. And then within ElevenReader, you can select as a user a default voice from our list of options, give your readers, the choice to listen into whatever voice they like best. And then users can also elect to add soundscapes to layer on top of your book, things like ambient music or coffee shop music or tense mystery loops, things like that. And soon we'll actually be giving authors control of creating some of this immersive experience with music and sound effects too. And so for those of you who have been on the platform before, you know that uploading a book is pretty straightforward. You upload your manuscript, you make some light edits, you set a price, you publish worldwide, and then you can earn 60% and 100% through the end of the year on all sales. And then you're paid out every 2 weeks. It's a consistent schedule. And then it's a great opportunity for discovery for you to connect with users on the ElevenReader app, which is continuing to grow as we bring on an amazing supply of content powered by all of you. Great. So I think many of you here are probably already familiar with the upload flow. And if you're not, I will post a link here in the chat, which is just an overview of like how from scratch you can upload a new book onto ElevenReader and share it with your audiences. I'm going to focus this demo instead on how to list existing books for sale on ElevenReader, and then also I'll call out a couple of other new features like series functionality and default voice. And like I said, if you're interested in learning how to upload a book from scratch, this link here that I just sent is a great demo on YouTube. And we can also consider doing a kind of ElevenReader 101 webinar in the future for anyone that's interested, where we could walk through together step by step how to upload a book and get it live. But for now, I'm just going to share a different screen super quickly. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up the ElevenReader publishing portal. Here we go. Can everyone see the screen? Great. So we're inside my ElevenReader publishing portal now. So you can see I've uploaded and published the book Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. And right now I have this book listed as free. So if you list a book for free, what that means is you will earn an engagement-based payout on the book. So you'll earn $1.10 per engaged listener. And so this is anyone who listens to your book for 11 minutes or more. These have to be unique users. And of course, these can't be fraudulent users. These have to be real people who are finding your books. And we have some fraud parameters built in there to ensure that that's the case. But what I want to highlight today is that you can now set a price and sell your book directly and earn a 60% royalty on sales, as I've mentioned, which is actually going to be the best way for you to earn more as you start to share books with your audience, and then you'll just earn directly. You can think of us as a platform that facilitates that sale. So I've gone ahead and uploaded this book already, and so what we're going to do is, this is what you can do with your catalog on ElevenReader. You can just go in and click this set price button. It's super simple. And this will direct you to the payouts and agreements tab within the upload flow. So you'll see here I have payouts enabled. I've connected my Stripe account. You're going to have to do that in order to start earning. And then you're just going to, from this drop down, select list book for direct sale. And then you can set the price that listeners will pay for the book. So you'll earn a 60% royalty after store fees and taxes. And quick tip, if people purchase your book on web versus on the App Store, like on iOS or Android, you'll actually earn a bit more because there aren't as high fees on web. So it's always a good idea to direct them to the web platform. So let's see. I'm going to set this one for $9.99, agree to the terms of service, confirm that the uploaded book complies with content guidelines, and then I'm the copyright owner. In reality, this is actually a book in public domain, but you're not allowed to monetize books in public domain. So we'll say I'm the copyright owner, and press continue. And then to call out a couple other features here, we just actually built this new feature called recommended voice. So what you can do is you can select from one of these voices. So I want to have George reading this book. And then when you scan the QR code to preview, you'll hear what it sounds like in George's voice. And then you'll have the choice to like select any of the other voices in the preview. If you like someone else better, you could set, maybe I like James better. After I preview, I can set that as the recommended voice. And then that will just make it so that you have a little bit of control over when readers start your book, what voice they hear, but they will be able to select others if they choose. And then you'll confirm your book is ready, and you won't be able to edit it. And then finish and submit for review. So it's been updated. It's now automatically available, this new price, to readers, and you can see here listed as $9.99. Will you be adding licensed voices to the recommended voice list? Yeah, authors can select, users can select now from our catalog of iconic voices. So you may be seeing like Burt Reynolds or Judy Garland. We'll be adding, we likely will add those to the default voice selection as well. Some more to come there. Decline for editing issues. Okay. Well, we'll get to some of these questions in a little bit. I'm going to stop sharing the demo. But hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions on how to do that, let me know. We're here to help, and you can also watch the YouTube video to watch from scratch. Great. And then let me go back to sharing. Where is the share my screen? Share. Great. Okay, back to the slide here. Great. So now that we've just chatted a bit about how to use ElevenReader and get started, I wanted to spend a bit of time to talk through some best practices and tips for crafting your strategy your audio strategy as an indie author. And we're continuing to evolve the product and build new features. So we're all ears for what you found to be most successful and what you would like to see as we build out our roadmap. But just to get started here, it's really important to start thinking about audio as part of your author marketing and growth strategy. And if you haven't already, I'm assuming if you're here, you already have. And we really want to be a resource for you as you build out your catalog in audio and help you think about pricing and marketing and more, and really facilitate that and make that easy on the platform. So a few tips and suggestions for getting started. First thing, what's great about ElevenReader is it's a great place to test the waters. So you can see it's free, it's low stakes. You can see how your audience resonates with audio. So upload a few titles, see what people think of the voices. You can maybe experiment with the voice, with a book that you're considering for either like full multicast production using the ElevenLabs studio platform, or even with human narration later. And it's a free platform, so there's a lot of room for experimentation and trial and error. So if you're just getting started, that's a great place that I would recommend to just kick things off, like upload a book and see what people think. And then once you've confirmed that there's interest in audio from your readers, don't stop at one book. You can convert your entire backlist. You can time, the launch of a new ebook with production in audio, so you don't have that kind of production delay. And you can also translate your books into other languages and easily upload them in translated text, translated audio onto ElevenReader to reach global readers. So we have a lot of authors doing that today. They upload their catalogs across a number of different languages. We currently accept English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, German, and Polish, and that's continuing to grow quickly. And then, like I said before, you can earn payouts anywhere in the world, no matter where you're based. And so that's it. That's a new thing that we've expanded. It's not just US based. You can earn anywhere. And then on pricing, so for series authors, one thing that we recommend is to make, and I'm sure you've seen this on other platforms too, but to make your first book free. You'll earn that, $1.10 per engaged users, and then monetize the rest directly. And so we'll, after listeners finish your first book, we'll push them to book number 2. So hopefully that will be a great way for you to earn. And then you'll also, with our analytics, be able to see, how listeners move through the series. And I saw a question about box sets and bundles. We don't have that yet, but that's on the roadmap. So glad to hear that there's interest there. That's something that we've heard from a bunch of authors. So that's something that we'll be building soon. So you can, have a discount if you purchase the entire series as a box set. And then one thing I just wanted to flag, as I've heard this from a number of you, we do have a subscription on the ElevenReader platform, but I want to be clear that that subscription is just for access to our text-to-speech feature. So this is users that come in and they maybe have something that they want to read aloud. It's often an EPUB or maybe a fanfic or an article, and they can upload that text into the ElevenReader app and convert it into audio. The subscription is only for access to that. Everything else on the app is entirely free. So the whole Explore page where all of your books are, there's no subscription there. So when you list your book for sale, we're not double charging users like a subscription and purchasing your book for direct sale. No one is gated from reading anything on the Explore page unless you set that book directly, and then they're only gated by the listing price that you set and you earn from that. So hopefully that's a helpful clarification there, and let me know if you have any questions on that. And then the best thing that you can do to drive sales is just to direct your audience to ElevenReader. So we have some really easy sharing functionality, embedded badges and links for you to put on your website, in your newsletters. And ElevenReader is going to be the place where you can earn the best royalty. And so, and build these kind of loyal audio first fans. So I strongly recommend you really push and share with your listener bases to bring them over to ElevenReader. And that'll be a great way for you to see an uptick in sales and engagement. And then please share any other thoughts or advice for other authors in this chat. And we'd love to keep the conversation going in our Facebook group. If you're not already part of that, I'll link it here. You should definitely join. Our goal is for this to be a place where we chat about all things kind of author strategy and audio, and be a great networking and community space for authors. And so, yeah, please do join that, and we can continue the conversation there and crowdsource some best practices. And also it helps us direct our product roadmap and strategy. So looking ahead, we're working really quickly to build out the platform. We're building more powerful author tools, better editing, better analytics. We're all ears for whatever you'd like to see. Please let us know. It might, it's not gonna happen overnight, but our team works really quickly, and we're super receptive to your feedback and what you'd like to see on the platform. We're building smarter discovery features and continuing to grow the user side of the app, so your books get found more easily. This becomes a real, net new source of discovery for you. We're building in immersive audio, this kind of music and sound effects component that I was mentioning before. And then long-term, our vision is very simple. It's, we want every book to be available in audio. We want it to be as natural as publishing an ebook, and we want it to be really easy to earn from that and to reach new listeners. So with that, I'm going to pivot to the remaining 15 minutes for some Q&A, but want to highlight 3 takeaways here. Please join the conversation on our Facebook group, which I just linked. We'd love to see you there, and we can chat more about all of these topics in the group. And then let us know, what else you'd like to learn in author webinars. We can tailor future ones directly to what you're interested in. Let us know any feedback. And then please do start uploading and selling your books, and you'll earn 100% royalty through the rest of the year. So it's a great opportunity for you to kickstart or continue to boost your audio strategy and start selling. Cool. So let's go through some Q&A here. Great. Let me go. We've got a bunch of questions here. I'll just go through one by one, I guess. So, okay, let's go back to the KU restriction. So one thing we've heard from some of you is that you've sold your audiobook rights already on Kindle Unlimited. And ElevenReader shows both text and audio in sync. And so what we've done is we've created a new option called audio only. So as you go through the upload flow, if you are an author who is part of Kindle Unlimited, just select audio only and that will hide the text. And so it will just appear only as an audiobook, not as a text and audiobook. And then that will help you ensure that you're not in violation of KU policies. Great. Will the $1.10 per engaged listener remain? What pricing strategy do you advise? Great. So yeah, our $1.10 per engaged listener, that is a beta program. And so you can expect there probably will be some changes to this over the coming months, but we'll communicate them super clearly and make it clear, the different ways that you can earn for books that you list as free. I would recommend you list books that you're more focused on for discovery and you're okay earning a little bit less from, maybe first books in a series, things like that. List those for free and continue to earn the $1.10. And then list any books that you want to be able to earn significant revenue from for direct sale. That's going to be your best bet. What's the primary source of traffic to the ElevenReader app? Yeah, so we have, we've got a team here focused on growth of the ElevenReader app. We do Facebook and Google ads. We've got, whole growth marketing strategy there. A lot of it continues to be word of mouth and the app is growing quickly, but it's still early days. So you can expect that it will continue to grow as you build out your presence on the platform. We've only been around for, less than a year at this point. So, expect good things to come. Great. Okay. I think Josie was on top of the using different email for today's call. Seeing a bunch of comments here about the expenses for audiobooks. Excited that we're able to resolve that since it's free. I have a novella. I want to give it away for free to gain readers. Yes, definitely. That's a great use case. You can upload your novella, list it for free. You'll earn that $1.10. And it's a great way to, get readers to be familiar and bring them onto your profile page on the ElevenReader platform. How do you intend to handle books as marked adult romance? This is a great question. We do have some tagging for mature content. You should be able to see it, assuming you're not under 18. But if you're having problems there, let me know. It shouldn't be too gated. You should be able to see it. So we can follow up with you directly on that. If you have books listed already, do you need to reload a book again to create a new audio listing? I think I'm a bit confused by that question. If you have books already on ElevenReader, you're all set. If you have books listed elsewhere on Kindle or other places, you're going to have to upload the EPUB onto ElevenReader and upload that metadata. But if you have books already listed on ElevenReader, you should be all set. Are you planning to offer free trials? I think if this is talking about the user side, are you planning to offer free trials like Audible? We do have free trials for users. So yes, definitely that's something that we offer. And great suggestion to add promo codes in a bounty program. That's actively in the works, so stay tuned there. We're excited to share more about that soon. Great. Is there a relationship between ElevenLabs and in audio? I saw that question come in. If you upload your books on ElevenLabs, and you produce the audiobooks there, we have actually a direct integration with InAudio. So you can publish directly to ElevenReader, you can publish to InAudio, and then they'll distribute your books. And we also have a direct connection with Spotify via Findaway Voices, so you'll be able to upload there. Great. How long can we expect? Josie's on top of that one. For the approval process, it's up to 48 hours. In business days, our team works really quickly as they can to get things approved. If you upload it during the week, as to Josie's point, that'll be a bit easier. You'll get it a bit faster. 50 or so books uploaded without any problems using Word files. Yeah, it can take, it's usually quite fast. Yeah, Josie's team works really quickly. Great. I'm going to go down to the bottom here. Where do I find instructions on the InAudio and Spotify integrations? That's a good question. I can follow up on Facebook. If you join the Facebook group, Mike, I'll follow up with some instructions there. It's pretty straightforward. You truly just create your book in ElevenLabs, and then when you press publish, there's a button that says publish to InAudio and to Spotify, so I can send some screenshots and some instructions there. It's pretty straightforward. Will you be improving the processing interface? I've had some technical glitches from Saul. Yes, definitely. We're a small team. We're working as hard as we can and super quickly to ensure that there are no bugs, but you can expect that things will be smoother and continue to improve as we scale the platform. What are the 8 languages for translation? So we don't actually do translations, but if you upload books in English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, German, Polish, and very soon to come Italian and Swedish, you'll be able to distribute those on the platform. Can books be published directly through? I list books for free to get newsletter signups. Is there a way to do that? Yeah, you can list any of your books for free with the you can just set it as free. It's totally free to listeners. We'll just pay you $1.10 for bringing your listeners to the app per engaged user. So Jennifer, please do list any books for free to get newsletter signups, and then you can gate some of your books for direct sales. Yes. So Ray, this is a good clarification. If you upload your book via the free platform, ElevenReader, you can't upload to other platforms. So you can only upload to ElevenReader. That doesn't mean that we retain any rights or exclusivity to your work. You can upload it elsewhere, wherever you want. It just means that you don't actually have the ability in the app to upload it to Findaway Voices or InAudio. If you use the paid ElevenLabs product, then you have full control and distribution across Findaway, across InAudio. You can download the MP3. It's up to you. And then also, of course, distribute on ElevenReader, and we'd love to see your books there. Emma, yes, don't worry for joining late. You'll still get the 100% royalty. Let's see. I might have missed a couple of questions in the chat. If you have anything burning that I didn't answer, could you comment it again? Just to follow up on the newsletter question, do authors receive the contact information on listeners? No, we don't. Unless if your listeners come and create an ElevenReader account, at the moment, like they'll just we won't be able to see that it was you that sent them, but that's why we'll be implementing some referral and bounty programs in the future to help you earn specifically when you drive usage of the ElevenReader account. But maybe I'm misinterpreting Michael's question. To follow up on the newsletter question, do authors receive the contact information on listeners? Yeah, at the moment, no, it's not. We don't give you access to who your listeners are. That's definitely something we could support in the future. So if there's interest in that, let us know. It's something we could think about, but for now we don't offer that. Yes, the in audio and Spotify integration is ElevenLabs Studio only, not ElevenReader. And yes, is it possible to upload audiobooks created through ElevenLabs to sell in ElevenReader? Oh, I see, upload directly. Right now you have to go through ElevenLabs and press publish to ElevenReader versus like downloading an MP3 and then uploading it onto ElevenReader. For authors that have maybe you've produced a bunch of books in ElevenLabs before and just have the MP3, we could. I don't think that's something that we could do at the moment, but I would recommend you just go on to where you produce the books on ElevenLabs and press publish to ElevenReader. When I try to upload an existing ElevenLabs full cast audiobook, ElevenReader kicks it back for editing issues. RA, Stefan, if you could send us your email and let us know which books are specifically getting kicked back, we can try to help you there. You shouldn't have a problem with that. But sometimes books might get flagged if there are too many typos, things like that. We also, just so you know, do now have a pronunciation dictionary, so you shouldn't have to edit the text for phonetics anymore or emphasis. How are readers responding to AI voices specifically for romance books? Honestly, the ElevenLabs voices are super realistic sounding and very natural. So we've seen very positive response. You'd have to check in explicitly with your readers to see how they're responding, but it's been very positive. We've got a lot of romance titles and a lot of users who come in specifically for romance on the platform. I have suggestions for user-facing features. Yeah, add them to the Facebook group or send us an email. You can email us at reader@elevenlabs.io with any suggestions. We're all ears, so please do send those over. Is there a good way to indicate I've created a full cast version? That's a good question, Adam. We don't currently offer that, but I think that'd be a great thing for us to start tagging. So we'll add that to the roadmap. It's a great suggestion. Great. The pain point with Amazon is we're not able to build our mailing lists. Okay, great. Heard on that piece of feedback. We'll keep you posted as we think about what we can do for you guys there. Yeah, use your for other platforms request an individual book cover created for audio. Is that required with ElevenReader, or does it just use one for ebook version? Yeah, we recommend you just use your ebook version. If you'd like to put a badge on it and saying digitally narrated, that's up to you. We don't put that badge on top for you, but you don't need it's not a square cover. You can just use your ebook cover. Yes, you can link to your author website. You have an author profile page on the ElevenReader platform. Put your author website there, and we'll continue, as I said, to build out kind of author fan engagement features akin to what you see on Patreon or Substack or other platforms like that. Awesome. Well, we're bumping up against the 45-minute mark here. Are there any other questions that I can answer while we're still here? I see some typing. Awesome. Well, okay, as next steps, what I'd recommend is if you're just getting started, I'm linking the YouTube video that I mentioned that you can see, from scratch how to upload a book. It's just me giving an overview of it. You'll get very familiar with my voice, I suppose. And then I'm linking here the Facebook group. Please do join. We'd love to continue the conversation there. And then lastly, you can send us an email at reader@elevenlabs.io for specific feedback on what you'd like to see us build. If you're looking specifically for customer support, you can contact our support team through the publishing platform. But if you're interested in sharing, roadmap, ideas, strategy, or feedback on features, things like that, send us an email on reader@elevenlabs.io, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So thank you, everyone. Really appreciate you joining, and for starting to upload your books into audio on ElevenReader. Like I said, we're really, really excited to grow this platform with you and for you, and make this the best place on the internet for indie authors to earn through audio. So thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate you being here. And I'm sure I'll be seeing many of you again at other webinars and perhaps in person at conferences and other indie author events. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one. Bye. And just to be clear, we'll be adding all of you for the 100% royalty at the end of this webinar. So happy selling. Thank you.